Okay, family, welcome to and welcome back. I'm so Ronica, and I'm so ready to show you guys the next thing I'm up to. Y'all, I know I said I wasn't going to be back in the bathrobe, but we back in the bathrobe. Doing what we did in the smaller version. That's what we're doing here. And what I mean by this is I'm talking about the little miniature dress that I made. Now we're doing a bigger version of it. And here I'm just doing the bodice block. I feel like that's not it. Because if my shoulders are going to come out of here, then what is this? I'm trying to be realistic. This is so it fits around my torso. And this is for the boob area, but this is for the arm area. So that roundedness right there was not going to work. I'm going to cut that out. I feel pretty good about that. And it's going to be different from the front because we don't want that same pattern in the front. We don't. Now for the back, we want it to just go like that. You don't know it till you sew it. And now let's check out the stretch on this. This is what I got from Walmart the other day. Long ways. It has very little stretch, lengthwise, but widthwise, that's where all the stretch is. Okay. So we're going to cut it according to the stretch side. Look at me, learning and growing. So now we're going to get our weights out because we can't wait to use our weights. So you say, why did I cut it on the side that stretches? Because we want this to fit around us. And this fabric was like $11. Like I said, it was in the clearance section for $2 or $3. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, I don't think that's right. I had him double check it before he cut it. And of course, it was in the wrong section. So guys, I'm getting over being under the weather, so I sound a little different, I think. You may hear me cough a little bit. But, yeah, anyway, I decided to speed this part up. Because y'all already know, we fold that over, lay that on top of there, 2 lips perched for kissing. And we either use our pins or our clampety clamps. Clampety clamps. And today we're using our pins because that's the first thing I was able to grab. You want to run those clamps straight down the bottom. Make sure everything's even and lined up. Again, y'all already know. Y'all see it. It's literally going to be just like the miniature that we made. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, you have to check out my video on this dress here. This is a tinier version, okay? It's going to look like this, if all goes well. I see this part's been cut right here, but again, everything is practice, 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 practice. Wow, that is so interesting how fabric does that. It's like the fabric is being biased. Do y'all see how I could come up with that conclusion? The fabric is like, well, if you turn me this way, then I'm going to do this. But if you turn me this way, even though I'm the same fabric, then I'm not going to do nothing. That's pretty jacked up. I'm going to figure it out, y'all. One thing about us, okay? One thing about us from the Sunflower State, we figure it out. Cue the dancing boys. Chiefs players. All right. So now this is a back. And my back really is not straight like that. But I'm afraid to do anything, not afraid. I'm afraid to do anything else. Like, if I make it the shape of my back, it's gonna have fat rolls. You know what I mean? So looking back at this, you know, I've already made the dress, you know. I realized that I should have given more, I should have gone in more on that back side. The fabric was, okay, you just got to watch the video. So now we're going to take this, and I should cut another one of these. I should have been doubling it up now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so if that's the front, then this has to be the side. Y'all see? Y'all see how we just lost the curve that we put in here? This little swoop right there. Because once we lay this on here like this, it don't even matter that had a swoop in it. That's why I wanted to cut that straight. So guys, I'm referencing the boxy sheath dress pattern. I'm going to secure it at the pivotal points, the top, the middle, and the bottom. And then we'll go back through and add a couple extra pins. All right, so let's get another side. And then we're going to add our zipper to it. Ooh, look at that. Y'all see it. Y'all don't see it? Okay. And I do believe we want to make sure that that other side, since we got it going this way, we want to flip it over and have it going this way. Because I did that mistake on the miniature, and I'm learning from my mistake, y'all. Create and adjust. Let's cut it. The sample piece, I guess I can call it a sample piece. I feel pretty good saying that. The sewing community, y'all are some beautiful people. Just beautiful. Pat yourselves on the back. So now we are laying this like this, but we're going to slide it over here. And we're going to turn this way. Y'all see how I just... Nope, wait a minute. We're going to turn it this way, like I said, because everything is going, you know what I'm saying? So again, lay that over. Two lips perched for kissing. Maybe we'll do this up here. Get our pivotal points out the way. I'm still thinking about the zipper. I'm thinking I should have put the zipper in the two side panels first and then, but it's not too late because I haven't connected anything. Because even on the sample piece, I didn't add the zipper, but I was like, I know I needed to add that zipper before I go connecting anything. Heads up, you might want to turn your volume down. This is the part of the video where you could possibly wake up Pookie and Ray right now. We almost there, y'all. I think we got... Yeah, just one more side panel to go. All right, let's look at our work. What is that? Let's see what we got. I know what y'all thinking. This has no structure. How is that going to stay up? I'm glad you asked. Let me show y'all. Okay, so I'm getting the sleeve out. Pattern pouch. We got stretch this way. One thing I love about sheer, it's going to stretch for you. All right, we're going to lay this like this on the fold. That way when we open it up, we already got our two sides. It's two sides to every story. And we don't need it this long though. We don't. I learned that from the miniature. So I'm going to slide this down. And I'm going to use these here. You see how there's numbers here? I'm going to stop at the top will be at 11. A mental note to self, just because it's sheer doesn't mean that it's not taking up space. I should have gave myself less sheer. All right, let's look at it. Again, this is exactly how we did the miniature. That is so cool. So cool. Wow. We're going to set this on top of here. So as of right now, sheer is still my favorite fabric to work with. At the beginning of me learning to sew, I did an applique and I attached it to some sheer. So yeah, check that video out. But y'all can do it. Whatever you put your mind to, honey, you can do it. You just got to be willing to go through the phases like this here. Like, what is that? Why does the bottom of that look like that? We can't use that. Y'all see how it's all... So I don't think I can use that. Maybe that would be for the front. And this would be for the back. I guess I could technically still use that. I mean, I don't want to. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all see how when I cut it, whatever was right here, trying to be resourceful with the sheer. So yeah, I was trying to be resourceful with the mesh. So I made my pattern directly under the part of the pattern that I had already made. So it still had that part underneath there. Yeah, I think we can use it. We can definitely use it. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. And this, you can't pin it on the pivotal part, so you got to literally go around and stitch. And what I mean by that is you have to put the pins around the top part outline of it so that the mesh can connect with the fabric. After I do this, how am I going to connect the bodice of it all? That is a pretty good question. When I did the prototype, I connected the bodice and then I cut it in half. We're going to do it just how we did the prototype. I'm going to stop using that word, y'all, because I don't know what it means. So, boom, bam. There's that. The sheer bodice block. And then we'll cut it in half. I can tell somebody's like, why would you do that? Why would you? Child. You don't know it till you sew it. Once I do it once like this, you know what I'm saying? Then I have the ideal. And I can come up with a way. God will give it to me. A way to do it better. Now what in the hoodamajigget? Some don't look right. I've never made a bodice that looked like this. Usually it's lined up and maybe it's because it's see-through that I'm able to see things that I normally can't see. And see how uneven, you know what I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to overwork my brain juice. See, the pin's just sliding out. I heard it. I see it. That just means we got to hurry up. That's all that is. Maybe I'll go over it twice. I don't know. No sé. Guys, I have like 3 or 4 girls at work that are requesting, that I make them some things. 1 a corset and 2 of them dresses. And I thought about it. I said, I'm going to have them sign a piece of paper saying that they are going to upload what they look like in the dress, in the garment. Because if I make them something, I want people to see my work as it is, whether it's good or bad or in between. But I feel like they're the kind of people that would be like, it didn't look right, Miss Ronnie, it didn't fit right, the sleeves, and then they won't want to post it. You know what I'm saying? Picture, video, something. And then I would have had spent hours on something that never, you know what I'm saying? Because in a few weeks, I'm going to do a video on all the stuff I made the first 5 months of sewing. I wanted to do 6 months, but I'm accumulating so much stuff, y'all. If I don't do it now, that video will be 2 hours long. And we don't want that. And it's just trying it on. Trying it on from the first one down to, you know, the last one, the most recent. I don't know. I want people to see my work. Is that selfish? If you give somebody something, you shouldn't care what they do with it. But in this case, it's different. It's different. Because y'all know me. No matter what this looks like, honey, y'all gonna see it on me. Y'all gonna see it on me. All right, so we got that sewn. Do I got water in here? I do. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Look at that. Does anybody else use the Great Value water? Oh, I was thirsty. I was indeed thirsty. Man, this is just, ooh, look at the, okay, let me focus. Because I get caught up in the beauty of the fabric. And y'all know one of the things I go by is better fabric is coming, better patterns are coming. So while you standing there staring at the glistening of the fabric, God's trying to put something better in your hands. But you got to pass this test first. Got to pass this test first. I believe that the Lord wants to see what we're going to do with where we are and what we have at the moment. But he also wants to see if we're going to treasure that, or are we going to trust him with where he wants to take us. When you get down by the wrist, be very careful, because when you're cutting with scissors, y'all, it can make it look jagged. That's what I'm trying to say. That's where I'm going with that. We don't want no jagged wrists. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put some lace before I close those up. Red lace. I don't think I've ever used red lace. I may be wrong. It's 2 left shoes. So we're just gonna cover up what we did accidentally. All right. So now we're going to get another, oh, that went right in the trash. Lay that right on there and cut another one. Everything that tells me I will make it stop on a good note. Not make it stop. Y'all know what I mean. I will pause it on a point of I can't wait to return. That's what I mean. All right, let's go ahead and give it a straight stitch. Lift that up. Lift the needle up, slide it out, and dip for me, dip. Come on and dip for me, dip. All right. So, what did I notice by that? That straight stitch gave us restriction. I don't like that. All right, we're gonna cut this right on off. Because why? Anyway, so I low-key want to put the, you learn, you live and you learn. This from here, and we're going to lay this across the top. Y'all see what I'm doing here? The shoulders. It's going to be like laced shoulder pads. And I'm not putting no pins in there because the pins, honey, they've clocked out. They've checked out on us. But I will make sure that it's lined up as it's going through. This is what I wanted to do before I connected the other sleeve. Sometimes clothes can have that, where one sleeve will have this and one sleeve will have that. It doesn't have to necessarily be uniform. It just has to be creative. That's what I'm learning. So now, as y'all saw, we have the lace going down the side of the sleeve. We want that to be on the outside, so I'm going to fold this like such and such. I can't believe how God has taken me from, and I knew he was going to do it. All right, so now I'm questioning the sleeves, if they're going to stretch or not. I mean, if anything, if they too narrow down at the bottom and they won't, you know what I'm saying, allow my arm to go through. But I'll just cut the sleeves shorter. They'll stop up here. Okay. So now what do we have? We have what looks like a Chiefs uniform. I've never liked anything on top of the shoulders, whether it be shoulder pads or designs, because it draws attention to the shoulders. I seen a preacher say this joke, and y'all might know the preacher I'm talking about, but I don't want to mention his name. He said there was a guy that was stranded on an island. I'm going to go ahead and pin these sleeves. And he built 3 huts because he was there for 10 years. And so when he got rescued and the news people showed up, they said, "Oh, wow, these are really interesting. What is the first one for?" And he said, "Well, the first hut is because I needed shelter. And he said I had to have a place to, lay my head." And they said, "Okay, what about the second one?" He said, "Well, I'm real big on believing in worship. I believe that you have to have a place to worship." And they said, "Oh, wow, that's deep." And they said, "What about this third one?" And he said, "That's the church I used to go to." Anyway, that joke always gets me. I mean, yeah. Clearly, we are the problem if we keep changing churches like that, right? He was there on the island by himself, and he felt the need to change churches. Anywho, I'm going to use the clamps for this, y'all. Because right now, everything it's looking, I can't tell it apart. All right, so we're going to focus on one sleeve at a time, y'all. That way we mess up one side at a time. So I was thinking that, if somebody had a dress that was made out of all sheer, how it should be less expensive. But just working with this fabric like this, oh no, honey, I'm going to have to charge you more for the frustration. All right, take one down, pass it around, lower that. Let's go. Make sure I'm This is so much fun. I feel like when I'm working with sheer like this amount of tool, I feel like I run the risk of it being a hole. I don't know why. I guess because I can't see nothing. At least when it's like fabric, you can see when it's lifting up. But this is like, You're gonna have to wait until you try it on to find out if it's sewn correctly. And that looks correctly, y'all. Y'all, I'm about to do a cartwheel after I put the other sleeve on there. Not a moment before. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, so make sure it's open. Folded outwardly. Tulips perched for kissing. Line up the lace to the best of my abilities. Pivotal points. Definitely want to lock down that lace. Go a little ways and lock it down. With the clampety clamp. All right, so we got that ready to roll. Y'all, this is gonna be a hit right here. So for those who are new to my channel, I have to have long videos because I go back and watch them and learn from them. Self-taught, y'all, self-taught. Press her foot down. Put your foot on the pedal, pedal to the metal. Regardless if it's tulle or fabric, you do not want anything to be under here but the fabric that's laying on there. Sewing is my happy place, my safe zone, all right. Yes, and another yes. All right, so I'm going to try this on. Wait a minute. That means I got to put a bra on. We're going to try it on once we get the dress on there. Looks good to me. And we are going to cut this down if that's the front and this is the back, we're going to cut this down the back. Now, just like that. See, that's where the structure, that's where you say, well, how is it going to stay up on your boobs? By the grace of God, y'all, by the grace of God. Wait a minute, we want to do it this way. We want to put it back here. I think. Yeah? Yeah? Because we don't want this lace to show. And we want this to go around here like this. Okay. Because that's just how we did our miniature. Let's put some pins in it. 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 I'm sorry, y'all don't. In the words of Will Ferrell, you don't like my music, you don't have to choose it. Anybody know that song? He sang that song in the movie. I love Will Ferrell. He sang that in the movie The Tropics. And I played that over and over and over until the DVD was like, please stop. Because you don't like my music, you don't have to choose it. Then you know exactly how to groove. All right. You don't like my music, you don't have to choose it. All right. So I think we're going to stop here because I am excited about getting to this and finishing and trying it on. So that's where you want to stop at. If you must stop, you know what I'm saying? If you're not able to be a stay-at-home wife just yet, and you have to go to work, okay? For one, Jesus loves you. And for two, we're going to start a support group. No, I'm just playing. Let me quit. Let me quit. I don't mind being a helpmate. I don't mind. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Okay, I am just really, I'm getting on my own nerves, y'all. Low-key, I'm really not. I love being around myself. I love my own company. And the reason why I don't have a lot of people around me is because I feel like a lot of people can't appreciate that. And so I just, in real life, I just stay quiet. Like nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. But I can really be myself here with the sewing. So that's a little something that I may edit out the video. I don't know, I get bored with people really easily. Is anybody out there a therapist? Can you just kind of, I get bored with people really easily. I'm still respectful, but I don't know. I don't know why God made me like this, but I'm spoiling it, aren't I? I am spoiling the surprise. And then we're going to do a real tight fitting skirt. But that's not right. That shouldn't be the goal. But we do want it form fitting, honey. I just want to enjoy it while I still got it. Okay. Y'all know I want to put some lace right there, right? Where's my lace? The lace is hiding from me. But is that necessary though? Of course it is. Look at that. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Just some lace right up there on that princess. Is that a princess cut? Am I just talking to be talking? That's not a princess cut, is it? I wouldn't know a princess cut if a princess cut me in line at Price Shoppers. That just kind of took away from the curve, the curvature. You know what? I remember she said cut it. She said cut it. We're going to cut it. We're going to cut it so that we can curve it. You got to cut it so you can curve it. There it is. We got that curve back. Y'all see it. Y'all, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. With the sheer neck. Hold on. I'm gonna cut that.